Good morning, good morning. It is morning here, and I have had a lot of people asking me recently to chat about my morning process or my morning routine, which I am such a big believer in. And what I want to say is I feel like I've made a ton of videos about this topic. I talk about it in my accountability groups all the time, and I know there's older videos. But your morning routine and your morning process should evolve, and mine's evolved, and not that it has evolved into something better, it's just always evolving into the thing that works for me. So I want you to also know that there is no secret morning process that like super successful people have. If you have read, is it Tribe of Mentors, I think, by Tim Ferriss, or gosh, what was the other book that he wrote? Tribe of Mentors. There's another one, but I think it's Tribe of Mentors. A lot of those like little snippets of super successful people, you realize when they're speaking about their morning process that they're so radically different. There's just the morning process that works for each person. Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod will teach you the same thing. And that is probably the biggest tip that I will give you. If you want to be motivated to cultivate a morning practice, read that book, Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. It just really drives home the point of the importance. And I honestly, you guys, it blows my mind when I talk to especially parents that tell me, and no judgment whatsoever, I'm just like, I can't imagine doing life this way, that parents that tell me that they wake up when their kids wake up. I am like, how do you function? I don't even get it. If I don't wake up a couple hours before my children and have that 2 hours to myself to get a jump start on the day, to fill my cup, to get grounded, to get clear on what I want to accomplish that day, if I wake up when my kids wake up, like the day is going to hell in a handbasket, I can tell you that. So what does my morning process look like? A little backstory. There was a long time, many years, that I actually worked with like a quote unquote guru, a meditation guru, like bigwig, and studied the process of meditation to the point where we would do 3-hour meditations. 3 hours, guys. It took us a year to work up to that. But I really studied meditation in depth. And here's the funny thing. It still never got me out of bed in the morning. My meditation practice, I was never eager to get out of bed and go meditate. Meditation is so hugely impactful, but it wasn't necessarily working for me. And I think what I do now is still, it's in the realm of meditation, but it's a practice, it's a routine that I want to get out of bed and I want to do because I know it's going to make me feel good. And the entire point of your morning process really is to get you to an elevated emotional state. So when you feel like excited or grateful or even calm, you are going to go into your day it's gonna unfold in a completely different way. So again, mine is always evolving. What mine looks like currently is I wake up, I drink my Energize, my pre-workout, because I'm planning on working out. And I take about 30 minutes to, the very first thing I do is write in what I call my book of proof. And I actually wrote a journal, Rise Up Planner. So this is my very beat up Rise Up Planner. And the back of it has a section, a whole entire section, like a separate journal for what I call your book of proof or your book of wins is another way to look at that. And I sit down and I write what were my wins, like how am I winning right now? How is my business winning? How is my relationship winning? What happened yesterday or what's happening currently that I'm super excited and grateful for. And the power of this, there's two sides, there's two ends to this. So I'm also going to read my vision. So that kind of comes in a little bit in my morning process. But when you craft your vision and you have this vision for your life, you have this vision for what you want to create in your relationships, in your family, the home that you're dreaming about buying, the friendships that you want to cultivate, the impact you want to make in the world or in your children's life, or the kids that your children are growing into, you know, all of those things. The book of proof comes from, that word proof comes from, what is the proof that is showing up today that vision is actually coming to fruition? And that to me is so much more exciting and so much more concrete than a gratitude journal. Gratitude journals are great, don't get me wrong. I think gratitude is like the secret to life, and gratitude is definitely interwoven in your book of wins, your book of proof. But so often, I know for me, I've kept gratitude journals for 20 years. I would do a gratitude journal and some days I'd be like, my husband, my house, the air I breathe. And that is not gonna get me to an emotional high, right? So I think sometimes the more we look at the teeny tiny things in life, like I am when I write about my children and my vision and who they're growing into, and then this morning I get to drop my son off at a basketball camp and I see these like giant basketball players like walk in and like give him a knuckles, and I'm just like, whoa, what a blessing. Like what an incredible gift that my son is being able to be trained and mentored by these amazing guys. Like that's concrete proof that the vision I wrote about my son is coming to fruition. If I am dreaming about, if I have a certain income that I want to make, the proof that that is coming true is that I found $5 in my back pocket. Like we have to be grateful for the little things. If we are only grateful and only seeing the proof in our life of the giant things, we're not going to be that grateful because giant things don't happen every day. But on the road to massive success, there will be a million blessings. And the more we focus on those blessings, the more we'll be attracted into our life. But the more we will see, the more we will feel, the more we will be aware of more blessings. So I know I just went off on a tangent. That's my book of wins. First thing, right? I shoot my Energize, I sit down and I write. Second thing I do is I look at my goals. So I'm looking at what are my goals for the year? What are my goals for the month? What are my goals for the week? It really dials my brain down into what activities, what are the really important things I need to do what do I need to accomplish that day? Because I've got this weekly goal that's going to translate to the monthly, to the yearly. And that's those little things that don't seem that, difficult are actually going to put me on track to hit those massive goals that I set for myself. And then the third thing is I read my vision. I read my vision and I just feel it. And I think there's also kind of a cherry on top of this vision part. And my journal actually walks you through like how to get clear on what you want to cultivate, how to, really dial down the vision that you want for your life. But I read that vision, and then here's where the power really comes in. I shut my eyes and I turn some music on, and for 2 or 3 minutes, I see that vision come to life. I feel it, I see it. Lots of times I ironically see it in slow motion for some reason. I think it's just more dramatic. But that, you guys, is my morning process. Book of wins, review my goals, read my vision, see my vision, and then I go work out, which is a whole nother thing. Because I was actually like going crazy on my team last night about how you show up in your workouts is how you show up in life. When you can break through in those workouts, when you can push yourself a little bit harder, when you can challenge yourself and rise above and rise up to the challenge, you will do that the whole rest of the day. That's the power of what you're doing in that first hour of the day. And the morning process, guys, before the workouts, it's 15 minutes. Some days it's 10. And it is the catalyst for everything you want to create in your life. So dial in your morning process. I would love to hear what your morning process is, what's working for you. When mine starts to get stale, I always need to take something out that's not really working and add something new in. But please share with me. I'd love to know. And I hope that helps. And these are available on Amazon, because I always get a bunch of people that are like, where can I get it? You can get it on Amazon. Just look up Rise Up Planner. That's it from me, guys. Have a great day.